Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today we are going to be updating our Flicker Strike Chayula Monk, full chaos damage, you know how it goes. Now, we have been, of course, not playing that much as I wanted, but still, there have been quite a few updates, and we can do 6 mod, full Abyss Overrun with 3 Abyss tablets, etc. maps. Of course, we are not omega tanky, but we can do all of the content on the game right now with almost no issue. Of course, I am playing Doriani for that extra red because I do die sometimes. We have some layers of defensiveness, and I'm going to explain all of those, of course. And on the footage that you are seeing, it's just a cleansed area with 3 Abyss tablets, Abyss Overrun map that I was doing before. Just before this, of course, be very careful about flickering when they are just spawning from the things, because you know you can kill them and get an omen of the leech instead. Now I'm going to show you 2 clips. One is us more or less how a boss would go. Most of the time we just begin the boss. This is like a tier 16 boss, whatever, 6 mods. I don't think it had anything about tankiness. We put the sniper's mark, get the things, 2 bells to get combo, and then the triple thingy, and boom, bam, bam, and he's dead. I have had no issue on killing bosses up to like 10, 13 million HP. So that is not an issue. Of course, doing 200% delirium is another thing. I can do it, but you need to be careful on the mobs that you put. And of course, one of the mods that I would always avoid is the stun threshold one, because you just get stunned all the time, and you can get stunned out of Whirling Slash, and you can also get Whirling Assault, sorry, and also get stunned out of Flicker. So you are very vulnerable about that. You only have 2 charges of the stun charm, and of course you can die afterwards. You are Now, as for this is kind of a thing that sometimes happens in rituals, you know, when you get those cool resets and you just begin flickering and you don't stop, and you just delete the whole ritual. That's why right now I'm doing ritual and breach. And if I do get some Abyss tablets, I usually sell them unless I get them randomly or I proc the Abyss overrun. Then I do actually do them, like the Abyss overrun map that I got over here, and then now it's also over here, and I also have other ones. I have finished all of the Atlas thingy quests. I just finished Doriani's 4 things, and I think I'm going to stay with him because he's going to give me irradiated and then the chance on clearance or corrupted. I do want to farm some fracturing orbs, that's why I'm also ritual, and I'm also doing breach to upgrade my neck, and eventually I will also want to get a strong timeless jewels. I'm going to explain a little bit why these are so strong, but for now my character is a level 94 Acolyte of Chayula, Hachaaldur. We have some evasion and some energy shield, kind of the duo with Ghost Shrouds. As you know, we have around 8,000 when we have the endurance charges around almost 10,000. I don't have almost any deflection, that is kind of whatever. And between evasion and blind, we are kind of, let's say, not that easy to kill or swarm. Now, of course, I don't have a huge deal of life, only 2.1k, and also energy shield, it's 1.4 when we have the endurances. It's not, it's less, but we are kind of close to many strong nodes that we can get. Now, the tree itself, I want to change a lot of things, but there are 2 problems that I have right now. One of them is resonance from nothing. I do need resonance from nothing to take a lot of these points that are in the middle of things annoying. Also, I do want to take these points off, but I also need to get some dexterity somewhere else, because even right now I'm running with a plus 12 to all attributes over there, and what we will do, it's likely that I will under level my Infernal Cry to like level to a lower level. That way we have less problems with the strength, and I can put these points that I have of strength somewhere else. After taking these points off, another points off, I do want to get this socket over here with a Megalomaniac or a Prism of Belief. Same thing with here. I also want to anoint Dominion. If you don't know what Dominion is, it's the one that lets you Archon, in my case Archon of Chayula, have no downtime, kind of, because normal Archons, when they time out, then you need 20 seconds, unless you have some talents that reduce it, to recharge and be able to be used again. If you have Dominion, that is not an issue. You can get a Megalomaniac with Dominion, you can have the Trickster Shard on the helmet and get Dominion there, or you can anoint it on your neck. That is likely what I will do. The first thing that I do want, and I'm trying to get all of the divines possible, is to get that from nothing on Resonance. That will enable me to move around 7 points around. Also getting my time lost sapphire more points. Now these are new on this league, the radius very large. There are also things like empowering suffixes or prefixes, but that's not something that we are doing right now. Ideally, you actually want an emerald that has the attack critical damage bonus, because that one can be increased with the catalysts, but those are like triple the price of sapphires. So for now, I do recommend that you get a critical damage bonus and a critical strike sapphire if you can, and if not, the withered magnitude is also some of a min-max that we can get. I got this one for cheap. It was like 10-15 divines like 2 or 1 week ago. They might be pricier or less pricey before, who knows. Same thing, you will get another one over here, and if you have the radius very large, it actually hits enhanced reflexes. It's kind of good. These points over here, I may take them off, but I'm not sure, because I can take these off and then just move them a little bit around here, and I get more energy shield. I also don't lose that much evasion. I will update a tree likely more next week. This is also because I will have more free time to play POE. Right now I don't have many, and that's why we're doing it. Another thing, we have changed a little bit the skills. As you know, now we are playing with Archon of Chayula, Prolonged Duration, Chaos Mastery, even if it doesn't show over here. You can see here that it's level 21. Blind Sight, we have permanent blind because of charred stuff. Eventually also we'll get the 5th skill on the others. I have been using all of my perfects and other things to try and get other places. And then we have pinpoint critical and super critical. They are kind of a combo that you can splice together to have a lot of critical chance, but also not lose as much. So it ends up being, you can see here, Chayula's will with 58% and around 500 and something bonus. If we take pinpoint off, you can see that's going to be 36 and have a lot more multiplier. But this also keeps in mind that we are going to have a lot more critical strikes thanks to charge regulation. Same thing as before, as you know. Ideally you get the Uthred thingy that gives it more level. Hand of Chayula, we have a Sniper's Mark, level 18, because we don't have a lot of dexterity. I may level it 1 point more, because I do want 146 for something else. I don't remember what I needed it for, but we do need that one. Then Eternal Mark, so we get double pop on this one. You can also put quality on it to have a little bit more critical bonus, but those hits are usually going to be Withering Assault hits or Tempest Bell hits, so they are not super important. Then Charge Perfusion and Despair. Despair level 18, so it affects all of the level of the mobs. That's kind of the minimum level that you want it to be, because remember 17 not going to work with higher level mobs. And then the last one, it depends on what we want. We could have hit and run, so it's super fast, or other things. Now Tempest Bell is going to be having Atalui's Bloodletting. This way it gets a lot of extra physical. You can see here, we get around 1000 or something extra physical per life cost, up to 40%. And right now our bell is 211, so it will get almost all of that 40%. Overabundance, this is so you can have +1 limit. This is so it charges the combo while it's still on the ground. Doesn't affect Ancestral Call. Ancestral Call can drop up to 3 of them. You can kind of do this even in single target. If you go a little bit behind, you will put your normal one and then the copy will put another one, but I don't really try to do that. Then we have Armor Break 3. This is how we get our endurance charges, mainly in clearing. In bosses, it's not likely that you get one. You do break their armor, but not that useful. The last one would be to get even more damage or to get Demolisher, so Armor Break is way easier, or maybe even Armor Explosion, so when you pop the armor of mobs, they explode. Now Ghost Dance, this is as Chayula quite cool because you do have the normal 30% recovery rate. So you see here that it has around 6 and something, but that's also because we have, remember, Catal's Rejuvenation. As Chayula, you do get into the breach with the remnants, and if we have some remnant from farther away, as you can see here, I have 20, 20, 50, and then the other 50, so we have around 140 from further away. So even while we are standing together, standing still, you can see here that we have around 7, 8, or sometimes 9 stacks going all of the time. And of course, if you do run a little bit, you do have these 8 all of the time. Now Rent over here, you do know this bug with charge stuff, so sadly Rent is not being used, but if we ever use, we do have some things over here, but not that important. You can, if you want, get Quarter Staff Strike with some skills, because sometimes you have those annoying mobs with the donut and you can use how to attack them down, but it's not that important. Charge Staff, of course, with prolonged duration. Blind, Blazing Critical, so we always have that 50% extra fire damage. Pinpoint Critical, so we proc everything more reliably. And then on the last one, it depends. Ideally, I will put more damage, but you can also put things that also increase the chance for it to shock or other things, although most of our shock is going to come from the bell instead of a charge staff. Depends on what you want. Now Mantle of Destruction, this one actually doesn't need many more things. Prolonged duration, delay gratification with added kinds. This way we get 5 power charges where we get those 20 combo. Remember to not put quality, because the quality reduces the combo, and we actually don't want it to have the 16 combo instead of 20. Remember to do that. +1, so it has +1. Now Whirling Assault, you can see here it's a level 28. It has 20% increased attack speed instead of more. That's a change. I have efficiency, because without efficiency it's like, as you can see, 300 mana, and with the way Mana Leech works now, it got completely obliterated, so we don't have that much chance. Then I have Ancestral Call for those cool triple wheels. And then this is a thing I'm doing. I'm using Embitter with Ice Bite. This is because chilling mobs are even freezing them with all of our extra chaos damage that we are getting. Although we are actually reducing our damage quite a bit because we don't have much penetration or anything. But anyway, Whirling Assault is not about doing damage. Like if you see, if I take Emitter off, it's going to be doing way more damage because we do have some amps for chaos. But this way we can freeze even bosses sometimes between the Whirling Assault, the extra damage from Ice Bite and freezing the bell and the bell itself. We can get some freezes on many mobs and even bosses. Now Flicker Strike has Perpetual Charge, you know, Culmination, 40% more damage, we do get 10 combo very easily. Momentum, same thing about it. Moment, it's not hard to get the 2 meters. Like from here to here, it's already the 2 meters that you need. So that's why you always see me just going a little bit away before doing the flicker. And it's one of the few that has 30%, 40% more damage. Then Inexorable Critical. Because of the way flicker works, this 100% increased critical strike chance works with all of the hits. And then Blindside mobs are always blinded thanks to charge staff. So we have 50% more critical strike bonus and critical hit chance. Then Infernal Cry has Raging Cry, Fireless, so it has chance to not be used. This is mainly for clear, but Echoing Cry, also very cool. Also, if you manage to anoint the beast, whatever it's called, you also have critical strike weakness. That's cool for clearing. Then Fire Mastery. The last one, you can decide to put some extra cooldown reduction. That way, instead of being 6 seconds, it will be like 5 or 4, making it way more reliable to be using the tags and only have like 2 or 3 seconds of downtime. Then we have Custom Critical, also level 18, because remember the intelligence thing. 20% quality reduces the reservation efficiency. As you can see, I have 6 spirit right now available. Then Living Bomb. You can actually get a Living Bomb with a low level to make it use less mana. Same thing with Firestorm. Boundless energy, so you actually get more energy. Frostbomb, and then you can decide to get Fluke or other things to reduce the energy and make it proc more. This is mainly so you get the infusions and also pop the infusions for power charges. This is not very reliable while you are clearing. While you are clearing, most of your power charges will come from hitting rare mobs that actually get some energy. So you get the Living Bombs and the Frost Bombs. But from Elite Chimes and with you can keep Mantle of Destruction and Wilderness Slash and things like that. And then on bosses, this is where this shines. You get a lot of procs, and those procs, mainly from Living Bomb, are going to give you fire infusions that you are going to pop them with Firestorm. Now, the last point that I have here is Staggering Palm. This is very, very useful while clearing. With Stun 3, Pinpoint Critical, Prolonged Duration, Heavy Swing, and eventually you can put another critical strike hit over here. And basically what we do is most white mobs or things like that, or when you see a primed mob, you can slam it. And it's kind of funny because when you have it once and you already are hitting, the balls from it itself also do a lot of stun. And then you also get that that power. Now the projectile itself is quite strong, as you can see here. It does like around 4k or something with 400 bonus. We will have it almost capped if we had some critical weakness on mobs or something like that. And it has 900% stun build-up modifier. So it's very, very easy to stun mobs if you have that all together. Now for items, we haven't changed many things apart from, you know, the neck. That this neck, I bought it and it had like only one prefix. I used Exalted twice and put the Essence of the Breach, and then eventually I will get the attack modifiers. My rings are complete trash. I will change them eventually. My boots are just some corrupted boots. Ideally, you want this to be cultivated for the one that gives a critical multiplier, but those are like 100 divines, so we are not doing that. Classic belt, some strength, some life, resists. Gloves, same thing, nothing crazy, just some life evasion and bonus +2 melee, some flat. The chest is just a random chest that I bought that has at least some spirit. Remember, that's important. And then resistances and some evasion. The helmet, critical strike, some life, and also energy shield. You can get one with a lot more energy shield and instead of the life, whatever you want. This weapon is a weapon I bought 1 or 2 days ago for like 20 divines. This was the weapon that I was using before. This one was very cheap. Even at the first week, it was like 5 divines or something like that. And I bought it because it had desecrated physical hit damage. So eventually what you want to do is get something like this, like with most plus levels and some bonus. The critical hit chance is whatever. And then with this you want it to have at least some flat, and it can have the desecrated percentage fees, so you can put a nominal light and then an ancient Jebon, try to get that high, or you can just gamble with an essence of aberration. Here I would gamble the 33% to hit that cold damage thingy. Here I could also gamble the 33% to hit that fire damage roll. Of course I'm not going to do it. You can also look things like this that are not divined that well, and this is like 580 physical DPS, but it can have up to 630 or 640. So very careful also to look at the rolls from the weapon itself. And that's mostly what I can say for now. I don't want to take more of your time, and I will of course update the build. I have a very cool idea to use low life. Of course, we have a little bit of an issue with Azir's communion being 200 divines, and also Aldur's it's also 200 divines, and then I would want an exceptional helmet for 2 sockets. I also want to get the thing on the gloves that let you put also socket over there. I want like very good gloves instead of these ones, but that will be for another day. Have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video. And I will leave this time a path of building in the description. It will just take, as before, 1 day or something like that for me to actually put the things correctly. Have a nice day again.